So it's become clear that, if you want to call it, the state of aggressiveness is multifaceted. It depends on the type of aggression, and it involves different sorts of circuits. So one thing we know about offensive aggression is that strong fear shuts it down, whereas defensive aggression, at least in rats, is actually enhanced by fear. It's one of the big differences between defensive aggression and offensive aggression. And you think about it, if offensive aggression is rewarding and pleasurable, if you start to get really scared, that tends to take the fun out of it. And maybe these two regions are close to each other to facilitate inhibition of aggression by the fear neurons. We know for a fact that if we deliberately stimulate those fear neurons at the top of the pair, when two animals are involved in a fight, it just stops the fight dead in its tracks, and they go off into the corner and freeze. So at least hierarchically, it seems like fear is the dominant behavior over offensive aggression. And how that inhibition would work is not clear, because all these neurons are pretty much excitatory. They're almost all glutamatergic. And so one of the interesting questions for the future is, how exactly does fear dominate over and shut down offensive aggression in the brain? How does that work? Is it all circuitry? Are there chemicals involved? What's the mechanism, and when is it called into play?
When working with dogs that are being aggressive, it's very important to understand, what kind of aggression are you dealing with? Why is the dog being aggressive? What is their perspective? Because in that understanding, you're going to find the solution, the way to deal with it. And like Dr. David Anderson was saying, that one kind of aggression, fear is going to stop it dead in its tracks. Another form of aggression, fear is going to amp it up. So it's very important to know what we're dealing with, so we can reach inside of that dog mentally and emotionally and connect on to them, influence them. And that is not through sit down, heel, place, prong collars, e-collars, clickers, and treats. It's connecting on to them from nature's perspective.